What is good? My name is In Orbit Dubs. With me here is Gilbert Fuck.
Gilbert Fuck.
Welcome back to another episode of One Sip Sunday. We're going to get right into it. We got a very special guest. Can we drop your name?
Yeah, it's my first name.
All right. So we're here with Jim today.
Yes, sir.
We're not going to lie to you guys. We're going to get real deep up in this kind of meditation, spirituality, shit in the past, magic. It's going to be pretty interesting.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I talked to him a little bit beforehand before you got here. I was hooked instantly. I was like, I really vibe with this. I love it. It's going to be a good one for you guys.
In Orbit was a little late because my girl got surgery Thursday. She's recovering though. And I forgot a bunch of shit on the way here.
I was going to say, that's not why he was late. He lost this adapter that we've bought the last 3 weeks. We've had to buy them.
We left our guest waiting for about an hour, but we're good. We're ready to go. We're going to get right into this. Jim, how you doing today?
Good. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to meet you guys. Probably didn't party as hard as homeboy over there last night at the county fair, but I'm doing good.
Yep.
Walking around with pitchers of beer while everybody walked around with their measly cups.
Instead of this dude sending emails for me, he was out getting
there.
drunk.
Yep.
Can we have a round of applause
some
for
big
some
announcements.
excellent management?
Oh, yeah.
2 festival announcements coming up. That's how we can tell you also.
Yes, but yeah, Jim, me and Jim pretty much met because our buddy hooked us up. Jim needed someone to help him do some concrete. We were trying to get real Italian that day, so we went out there. We helped Jim out. We got his driveway done.
Oh, yeah.
And we ended up becoming pretty good friends. Jim's a cool dude. I was like, we're looking for a guest this Sunday. Jim was happy to come out.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I am one of the higher ranking members of the Royal Dragon Court. It's ancient order. It stems all the way back to Nefertiti and Akhenaten. Other than that, I have a family history in the Rosicrucians, and I have studied several occult orders and magic for at least the last 10 years. And, go ahead and shoot any questions at me, and I'll give you some answers.
Yeah, so you were saying that you got your house and your job with magic. And
Absolutely.
I was curious, like, what does that mean?
Okay, so what happened was I got to I guess you would call it a low point, but it was actually a high point. I had started meditating, and once I started meditating, I ended up with some pretty unique experiences that led me on a journey, for a soul-searching journey. Well, that soul-searching journey actually took me to be friendless, broke, no credit, and so I got to a spot. But what happened was I had learned the rules to manifestation. So once I learned the rules to manifestation, I started implying those. So for instance, my house, I manifested my house. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a down payment. And I ended up with a $200,000 house out of the blue. I manifested it. One of my favorite tools would be using candles.
Okay.
So I actually used candle magic. I put my intentions to a candle. I lit the candle. Shit you not, 2 weeks later, I bumped into a lady and I was just saying, hey, I'm looking for a house for me and my kid. I don't know what I'm going to do. Apartments are high rents, not enough room. She said, we have this house over here by the zoo, and it's been sitting for 9 years, and why don't you come take a look at it? So I went to take a look at the house, and it fucking was trashed, right? The house was trashed, but it was a house. So a lot of things you got to think of when you're manifesting something. As a human being, you're taught to think in a straight line, but that's not how the universe works. The universe works in curly lines. So you got to think of an A-B point, but how you get there. So anyhow, the house was fucked up, but I looked at it, and it was so fucked up that I called the guy back, and I called the guy back, and I was going to tell him I didn't want it. And he goes, I was just going to call you. And I said, well, you go first. And he said, how would you like to buy my house on land contract?
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
I said,
Especially now, I don't know when that came about, but
5 years, 6 years ago.
land contracts are real tough to come by.
So he goes, I said, look, I'm going to be honest with you, sir. I don't have credit. I don't have a down payment. He goes, I want to do it. I want to give back. He said, I was blessed. I want to give back. He signed the house over on a land contract, and lo and behold, I had a house. Magic.
Yeah.
I set the intentions. I lit it out. The universe brought me the opportunity, and it worked out that's just one thing that I did. After the house, I realized how real it was, and I said, let me see if I can make X amount of money. And I literally set the intentions. I need to make $65,000 a year to be happy. So I went back to my candles, set my intentions. 2-3 weeks later, I get an interview. A week later, I get an offer on my kid's life, $65,000. I should have asked for a fucking 100, but 65. Yeah. I'm asking for a lot more now, and I'm getting it. But I went from almost homeless back in mommy's basement to a home and a $65,000 a year job within a few months.
That's nice. That's crazy. How do you even get into this to where you would know about these candles?
Yeah, so this is going to be fun.
Because I'm wondering, like, where could we get some of these? Because I should light one.
I'm going to plug out. I'm going to put a big plug out here. My buddy Jonathan over at Nightlight Candle. Look at that. They will hook you up. They got good deals. They're a weird family. But their family goes back to Jewish candle magic at least 100 years.
Yeah.
And they have a sweet science on the oils. These are not... Candle magic is probably the most powerful magic there is, believe it or not. And you'll notice when you go to your little churches or synagogues or whatever, what do they have going on? Candles.
Yeah.
They also know that candles are a very powerful thing. The flame has a way of speaking to the ether. Now, here's a side note. The candles are a great tool for magic. The reality is, magic comes from your mind. So what you're doing with the candle is actually tricking your mind into creating for yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I feel that. So.
What got you, that brought you originally into this spiritual part of your life? Like, what was the turning point when, it actually happened?
Yeah, so, man, look, I'm 44 now. But at one time I was like you guys, I was chasing women, and I was a normal guy on a boat, cool motherfucker, and my younger brother had anxiety real bad. And I was living over in Sterling Heights area on Mound Road, and I kept driving by this temple, this little Buddhist temple, and it said free meditation classes, right? So I kept driving by, and I seen an article the next day that kind of said meditation is great for anxiety. And I was thinking of my younger brother, and I'm like, Chris, why don't we try this meditation stuff and see if that helps you? It was the first experience that set me off on a 10-year journey. And what happened was we went to meditate. It was a Thailand temple. None of the people spoke English. They were really nice. They sat us down. They told us what to do. I just followed. I was chanting, doing whatever the hell they were telling me to do. I left my body and had a psychic experience. And
your first time?
Yes.
Wow.
And I also had a voice come to me to tell me now is a friend of mine. He's an abbot. To tell him that they were proud of him for getting his American citizenship. So then all of a sudden I heard ding, and I came through, and I'm going to reverse. So during my meditation, I remember it clear as day as my first experience, I saw this little boy running around this huge, huge statue of Buddha. And then I flashed again, and I saw the guy, who I know now is an abbot, he was sitting on this gold chair, and all these people were pouring water on him. So anyhow, as I seen all this stuff, then I heard the voice, and then I heard ding, and I came through, and I was like, what the fuck just happened, right? So when we were about to leave, I said, sir, can I talk to you about meditation? What's supposed to happen? So he took me in the back room. He said, sit down, let's talk about it. And then I the first thing I said to him was, I saw this little boy running around this thing. He calmly goes, my mother dropped me off at the temple at 11 years old. I used to love running around that statue. And I'm in here to tell you, I'm like, come on, man, is this guy messing with me? I said, come on, don't fuck with me. I was literally getting angry. And then I told him about the other circumstances of seeing the gold water stuff. He said, we just did that 2 weeks ago. At that point, I was so freaked out and kind of angry at this guy. Like, don't lie to me. Like, that shit's impossible. Yeah. I didn't tell him until 6 months later, after I did some research about the message that I had. I left the place. I remember clear as day. My brother was here. It was funny because we were walking out, and I said, dude, that shit was weird. I don't ever want... My brother was like, I wish I had that happen. And that's how it started. And that led me on a journey. I realized that psychic phenomenon was real. That led me on at least a 4-year journey just studying and talking to different psychics across the world. I will say this. 98% of these psychics have knowledge, but they don't have wisdom. So, most of these people sitting around, let me charge you $50 for a tarot reading and all that shit. Those people are all pretty much charlatans. No. But there are firsthand a lot of very real psychics, people that have solved murders without seeing the victims. I know people. I know people that can tap in and view what you're doing from across the world. I know a lot of people, and it's very real.
Yeah, that stuff's crazy. So they just do that all with their mind?
Well, all is mind.
Yeah.
So, oops, sorry.
No, you're okay.
All is mind.
Yeah.
So if you break down the brass tacks, the oldest philosophy written in written language that survived past the deluge, which would be the big flood, the oldest written knowledge that we have is called Hermetic philosophy.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to Hermetic philosophy is the basis of all religion, science, everything that we got going on, and it's all been pulled off of Hermetic philosophy and then categorized into different things, but that's where it comes from. And the saying for Hermetic philosophy is, all is mind.
Yeah. So with this like magic stuff that you're talking about, is any of this like is lighting the candle, does that have like any like demonic shit going on with it, or is it not really like that?
So demonic, we got to first address demons, okay? So if you go back, and I'm going to go to the Holy Bible, it's really, we can sit here and talk about that for the whole podcast, but let's just say the Holy Bible, which originally the Torah, a conglomeration of books from Samaria, Aramaic. But anyhow, in the Bible, there's stories of King Solomon, and King Solomon trapped, 72 demons? The 72 demons, he trapped those 72 demons. He had 40 years of peace. He created a huge, huge castle and all this stuff. Well, those 72 demons are allegory. So the 72 demons are actually 72 aspects of the human mind. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you can control the 72 aspects of the human mind, you can virtually create and manifest anything.
Yeah.
I can easily preach it. I've touched it. I've done it, but I've not came to like instant manifestation, which there's people I've seen do it.
Like, what do you mean by instant? Like it just happens?
I have met a Japanese key master that could told me to hold a quarter, and he made the quarter so hot I had to drop it. I have seen a gentleman start fires with his hand. I have seen people be able to calm their mind and instantly manifest and move things. Actually, me and we were just talking about before you got here. He had a buddy that could move shapes out of smoke. So that's instant manifestation into the material world.
Yeah. So you think that's like why like the government makes all this stuff seem like bullshit, because it's very real?
It's absolutely why the government does that. So you got different strains. You got the government, but you got entities that rule on top of the government that are far more powerful.
Yeah.
The government is kind of like a stage show.
Yep.
The government's a podcast to brainwash the masses.
Yeah.
And what happens is they put out the scientific curriculum. They put out the religions. They put out what is fact and not fact. And again, you control the minds, you control the masses.
Yeah. That I feel like that's like what's really going on lately, though, nowadays.
Lately, we're in a cycle. So you ever heard of the end times and all these the gloom and doom?
Yeah.
Nothing ever ends. Everything's eternal. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. And we're in a very unique time. So 2012, the Mayans weren't bullshitting everybody. What happened in 2012 is the frequency of the planet actually was elevated.
Yeah.
And when the frequency of the planet elevated, it started calling to DNA of a lot of ancient people. They're waking up. The people that are in control right now, the best name to call them, you hear a lot of conspiracy theories, the Illuminati and all that bullshit. The best thing to call them is the Cabal. And they are a family that have been ruling for at least the last 2,000 years. Like I said, they control your media, they control your science, they control your education, they control every aspect of your life, and you don't realize it. It's the hidden hand, kind of like the Wizard of Oz, the wizard behind the curtain. But the bottom line is they are controlling everything. So right now, they are holding on as hard as they can and launching as much brain fuck as they can to try to lower the vibration of the people and ultimately not lose control and power. Absolutely.
You think by them doing that, though, it's just raising it more because now people are seeing this firsthand?
Well, no man's outside the divine plan, so it's going to play out. The cycle's going to play out. But I think that it's having a double-edged sword effect on them.
Yeah.
So there's enough people searching that are finding it.
Yeah.
But if I had to be honest with you, let's be real, guys. 98% of the planet, it's working.
Yeah.
Everybody sees somebody driving down the street with a fucking mask on and fear. Fear is the lowest vibration a human can have. When you're at your lowest vibration, you're easier manipulated.
Yeah, you're the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's why lately, like, I know I don't have COVID. Like, I'll go to the grocery store and I'm not wearing a mask and shit. People don't really say anything to you.
No.
So
One lady has, and I was like, just stay 6 feet away. But then I just saw an article yesterday that said 6 or 60 feet away, it never mattered.
So look, guys. Everybody here is going to die.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to live in fear, no, you're going to manifest that fear. So again, if we manifest our thoughts. And everybody's thinking the same thought. Gloom and doom, COVID. What's going to come?
Right,
even if COVID didn't fucking exist, humanity can manifest a COVID.
Yep,
and they are pumping people to manifest this for whatever agenda. I don't claim to know their agenda. I know some people that got close to their agenda, and believe me or not, I can pop names and you can go research it. These people were good friends of mine, and they came up fucking hanging themselves in their garage because they had too many followers and they were preaching too much of what we're talking about today.
Yeah. That's like what happens, though. Remember, have you ever heard about that one doctor that cured every disease just through fasting and shit? And then he died in jail the second time they got him after he defended himself in court.
So there's a lot of truth to that. So I was very blessed to meet Sadhguru. Shout out to Sadhguru. He's a great guy. He's a master of magic. I went to the biggest magical ritual you'll ever see in your life, man. And Sadhguru, the mind, the body, and the spirit. You want to. So if you eat a certain ways and you don't eat these processed foods and stuff, by no means am I vegan or some hippie. But the reality is, if you take care of your body, it's the fuel. You can heal your own body.
Yeah.
Now, here's where there's a caveat to that. Not everybody is meant to be healed. Some people are here on a karmic debt from a past life, or a past life for that. You have to. Nothing goes without being the law of cause and effect.
Yeah.
So what you do, you get back. You hear it in the Bible. We'll go to the Bible again. What you reap, you sow. All that stuff is true on an energetic level. So some people are here for woe is me, but they're here for that experience, so they can't be healed.
So what do you think happens to us when we die?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, I'm in a human body with a human mind right now. Nobody can know the exacts. I can tell you that we do have a soul, or a monad would be the right answer, and it is made out of divine energy. I have been blessed to have seen into that world. I know other people that have seen the same things. What happens, I really, truly don't know, and I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of theories on it, but I don't believe that any human being can technically know.
So you think if we have like past lives, like that's probably true, right?
That is 150% true.
Why do you think we can't remember those?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of theories on that, and then again, now we're going to be phasing off of truth versus reality. But there is some theories that there is an evil agenda, and they actually wipe your memory and have a net around Terra, which would be Earth. There's theories of that. There's a lot of theories. I don't really know what to believe on that and why we don't. But then again, how if you're coming here and you start off at one vibration and then you died and you come back, it would kind of cheat your lessons if you knew. Maybe that's a good theory. That's the way I look at it.
That's what
like,
I think too.
Like,
Sometimes.
I'm here to relearn, so then I gotta expunge that karmic debt. You're born with it. Some Hindu philosophers that I've hung out with say you carry that into birth. That's why some people have a really shitty childhood. They're molested. They're fucking raped. They get hooked on. Well, they're working out a bunch of karma. A lot of those people turn out to be the most amazing people on this planet because they get to go through all that karma. They're burning all that karma from the last life, and then all of a sudden they have a click and they change the world. A lot of people that are very powerful souls go through the most torment. You got to go through the darkness before you can get to the light.
Yeah, that's crazy. Fuck, dude, you're like just going on about this, and it's like blowing my mind.
We're just getting started, but I'm just
dude.
Scratching the surface.
It's just like it's just a lot to take in, and I'm sitting here like I don't even.
I
know
asked
what
you
to
how
ask.
deep you want me to go.
No, we're trying to get like as deep as possible.
I'm giving it to you.
This is kind of like off topic and on topic. I've been doing a lot of research. Agoris.
Okay. Never heard of it.
They're a Hindu group. They're cannibals.
Okay.
But why I'm bringing that up because when I was doing my research on them, because I was like, because they're still cannibal tribes. Like there's still people that do this, and you were talking about you reap what you sow, like past lives. they live their life. They like have specific parts of islands that where like people die, they take them and they all burn them together. But the people that are burning those bodies are there for that reason, and that reason only, to burn bodies because they did something bad in their past life.
Yep.
And that I was just thinking about that when you were saying that. It's so crazy that they have no choice in life, that they live now. They have to just burn all day long, like 12-hour, 18-hour shifts they were talking about. Just they have to burn their relatives or anybody that has died in their island
So
constantly.
So
and that's
here's-
just the one job. Like
That's
that's
just-
the
yeah.
negative part. There's higher ups and stuff like that, but it was
How do
just
they
wild.
know that their life was like that to give them that job?
But that's just how life right now is. That's what they were given. That's
Yeah.
what they're.
yeah, I had a thought on that. I'll have to come back to it, but yeah, I lost my thought. I apologize, guys.
You're good.
So you were saying burning the body. So, damn, I had a good thought. Oh, first of all, fire cleanses. Second of all, that's what my thought was. Here we go. So what happens is our culture is probably one of the first culture last few thousand years that look at death as this bad thing. Okay? Every culture before this knew the energetic laws of the universe, and they knew that death was actually a good thing. You actually evolved. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're the only culture teaching our people to fear death. Every other culture, you can study them. They looked at death as an honor.
Yo, Jem, real quick, your hand's on the line. It's giving like a little weird feedback.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, continue on that.
Yeah, anyways, I'm just saying that most cultures knew that dying was actually an honor and that it was a rebirth.
Yeah.
Nothing ends. Everything's cyclical. Again, if we're going back to Hermetic philosophy, you can skip out you can search all you want to do, and if you go right to Hermetic philosophy, all the beliefs stem right off of that.
That was like something. So you're talking about like fear and death and shit, and like that's kind of like how I've been thinking like my whole life. Like the other day, I was in the car with my dad, and he didn't really like this because he's super religious.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Put your seatbelt on," and I was like, "If I'm supposed to die today, then no matter what, I'm
Brother.
gonna die today."
Yeah, you're right on. So I give an example of that. I
Yeah.
knew a firefighter, 33 years old, dropped dead. Guy was in the best shape of his fucking life. He ate all organic, worked out 5-6 times a week.
Yeah.
Best shape of his life, dropped dead, 33. Great guy. Then I knew a gentleman, also liked him, but he had drug problems.
Yeah.
75 years old. He had a heart pacer put in. I went and talked to him. I was like, "Hey, how you doing, JR?" He's like, "I'm all right." I said, "You're not still messing around with crack or anything like that, are you?" He goes, "I had to test it out." This guy smoked crack on a pacemaker for 10 years, died at 85. So you got a good point. It's your
Yeah.
time. It's your time.
Yeah.
You got a divine number. We can go into astrology and everything, but let's just say everything lines up, man. And you do have a divine number, and you do have a divine mission. The problem is we all come to this planet thinking that we're human beings searching for a spiritual, but we're actually spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think that there's humans on other planets?
Homo sapien, I don't know. I know that there's other races of beings that are very similar to Homo sapien. In fact, those are the races that genetically engineered Homo sapien. So to look at a universe that's infinite, there's infinite possibilities.
You think that an alien, we have this talk a lot, that an alien could have fucked a monkey?
No.
And then that would have created humans?
First of all, they don't have to fuck them.
Yeah.
They're 2 million more years evolved than us.
Yeah,
We are the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the aliens to this planet.
Okay.
That is a fact. You can do enough research, you'll find out. Start Sumerian text. Look at the real religious texts they put together with the religions they have today. And we are the aliens to this planet. These beings were on this planet well before us.
Like dinosaur times and
Yes, yes. Homo sapiens, it's good you talk about that. I'd love for somebody that's listening to this to research. Homo sapien coexisted with dinosaurs. It's a bullshit that dinosaurs were here. We were caveman. They want you, what they controllers want you to think is that you were this dumb fuck and then you evolved and were the most supreme beings that have been on this planet. I'm here to tell you everything's cyclical again, and there have been races of beings on this planet that are far more intelligent than modern day humans.
shit. You think they're still here?
Well, it's a great question. I don't think they are. There are some beings that are still here, 110%.
So I've been hearing some shit like this might be a little conspiracy, but it's like you ever hear like reptilians and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
so there's some truth to it. So you got the David Icke theories on that. I've actually talked to David Icke a few times. David Icke goes on a tangent, but let me tell you, where there's smoke, there's fire. And there are quite possibly beings like reptilians that have been in control of this planet for about 2,000 years.
Yeah, they say they eat like babies because the blood.
Yeah, that's where a lot of your vampire stories come from and stuff. But however, what they actually do is they thrive off energy, and the best energy for them is fear energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think that shit's true? Like in Hollywood, like mega famous like superstars, they'll drink kids' bloods.
Actually, I don't know about the blood, but I know it's true. They do rituals. Again, I just had a friend that unfortunately, God rest her soul, was taken out because she was exposing the dark magic that they were using children and sex magic with. Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you gain from shit like that?
You're manipulating the material universe. So if you can use symbols. If you look at like Toyota, come on, people got to wake up. People, these major corporations use different symbols. Well, it's geometrics, dude. It's sacred geometry.
Yeah.
So you do certain things, again, cause and effect. You do certain things that has certain reactions. They just happen to know that if I do these certain things, dark or not, they have a different reaction.
How do you think someone like let's say like I blew up to like a mega famous superstar? How do you think that you start to learn about all this dark magic shit? Like,
Oh, you
does
mean
someone
someone's-
just like come and get you, and like you have to sell your soul? Like, is selling your soul?
It's
like, a
kind of
thing?
like selling your soul. So I had a buddy named Sir Mark, and he was offered to become anything he wanted to become.
Yeah.
He was real high up in the Freemasons. He left the Freemasons, and then he went into the Golden Dawn, and then he got into some big occult groups, and eventually he got into an occult group that offered him anything he wanted to be.
Damn.
And it exists. And it
Yeah.
sounds like a conspiracy theory, but the shit exists.
No, I believe that shit.
Well, here's the thing. Why believe when you can know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always, and then again, I was telling
Gilbert.
I'm sorry, brother.
No, you're good,
I was
you're
telling
good.
Gilbert when we first got here that all truths are but half truths, anyways, because in a human mind, you're never going to be able to get an acute truth because you're in a relative environment that fluctuates.
Yeah.
Energy's always moving.
So do you believe in like anything like science and shit like that?
I
or
don't
not
believe
really?
in anything, but science is real parts of it. The problem with science is that it doesn't take in the etherical realm. It only takes in the material realm.
Yeah, 'cause
so
they can't
time and
test it.
space is man-made.
Yeah.
Time and space doesn't exist. I'll give you an example. Sadhguru told me this when I was speaking with him, that the human body blinks in and out of existence 1,000,000 times a minute. So I was like, well, that's kind of crazy to think of, Sadhguru. He goes, you know what? The way to explain it is if I take a ceiling fan and I spin it at full speed, it looks solid. If I throw a plate against the ceiling fan, it shatters and shoots back at you. So therefore, the ceiling fan's solid. We know it's not. It's the same thing with the human body.
So you think that's why drugs like shrooms and shit just fuck you up so bad?
No, drugs like, that's called left-hand path. And drugs like shroom, DMT, that's why a lot of the old shamans used to use DMT, or the Native Americans use peyote, and there's the frog, you lick its ass and you get high off, whatever. But the bottom line is that's the left-hand path. It's not recommended that people do that, in my opinion, because you can go from 0 to 60 and really be messed up. But what the drugs are doing are shutting off portions of those 72 aspects of the human mind that allow you to connect to the other dimensions.
Yes.
So why do you think I got so scared when I did shrooms?
Yeah,
You
it
probably experienced a lot
paranoid.
of things
Too
that
much.
you weren't ready
Yeah.
to experience yet.
I can't do them either. You can naturally produce DMT by meditating.
Yeah.
Now, if you are from, which most of us have a little trace, but if you have enough of the ancient culture's bloodline, your DMT goes way up, and it's probably, all due honesty, why I had such an experience the first time I meditated.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like your first time ever, you just went in like that.
Absolutely. And my experience, my journey was a 10-year journey, and I had a lot thrown at me at once. And I wouldn't take it back for $1 million.
Yeah, no, you can't. That just seems like, and I almost feel like experiences are worth a lot more than physical wealth nowadays.
100%.
Absolutely. Experience and knowledge is worth more than any kind of, because with experiences and knowledge, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't look at everything the way we're trained either. We're all looked at like, we're technically trained like money and objects and all this bullshit is what life's about. Once you realize that life's about experiences and knowledge, then the money and all the material stuff come to you, but they come to you for a different reason.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, look at me, I got a Rolex watch, so I'm better than you. They come to you because the universe is going to give you, ask and they shall receive. They
Yeah.
come to you because you deserve it, and your intentions are behind it are not to smite somebody else
you're
or think you're
appreciative.
better or ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You appreciate it
Yeah.
and you deserve it, and then you share it.
Yeah.
You share it.
Yes.
So you think like some of these like famous artists that I've met have like that ego like that?
Yeah.
Why do you think they got the?
Because they're too tapped into thinking the human experience is what life's about.
Yeah.
And their ego is about them. It's called self-service versus serve others. You got two choices. You can self-service or serve others.
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna do a little bit of all, but if you start to learn to serve others for the right reason, you can get rich and famous like that too. But
Yeah.
just become a better person. You know, use it for the right things. A lot of those people are using it for the wrong things: chasing women, ego, status, all those shit you can't take with you when you die, guys.
Yeah. You just
100%.
die a skeleton.
You die a skeleton, you come back lower than you.
So I have this theory too that when I die, I don't want to be like cremated or put in a casket. I just want them to put like my straight up body right into the ground.
Yeah, that sounds like kind of like the Egyptians, right?
Because I feel like if I die, like you can become some grass and shit like that. But like, how am I gonna do that if I'm in like a coffin 6 feet under the ground?
Yeah, look, if you get burned, your ashes are going back to the ground. If you lay in
Yeah.
the ground, your skin's going back. The bottom line is your soul leaves your body before your body dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gone. That body's just, the ancients called it a vessel or a jar or a car.
Yeah.
That's where those names come from. And who gives a shit? You used it, you're done. It's an envelope.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You think this is why we have like dreams and shit?
Absolutely, dreams are amazing, and if you get to the right spot where you shut your mind off right, you can actually control your dreams. And I haven't been able to dream in years. It's weird, guys.
I dream every single night, and I remember them all every time.
Yeah, it's a gift. So what
Yeah.
you need to learn to do is use those dreams, and you can manifest in those dreams as well.
Yeah. Like I had a dream. This is what happened that like I even like started becoming like an artist. So I had an ex-girlfriend and we broke up. Like she went to the Air Force, and then I did shrooms. And when I was tripping like so hard, like everything was like a hallucination. And inside of the trip, I was like sitting in front of the TV, and I was like, I have been playing video games for like 8 hours a day for the last like 6 months straight. And I was like, and I'm really sitting here where I've always wanted to like be a professional DJ. And then after that trip, I literally have not touched the PS4 since. Got a laptop, got a DAW, and it was just like hard work from there.
Yeah, so now think about that for a minute. We've been talking about all is mind. You changed your mind in a direction,
Yeah,
and you kept the emotion behind it.
yeah,
You have the manifestation happening.
yes.
So
Like it was a lot of people don't know this. We've said it a few times though, but last year was my first year pretty much making music. I did it for like 3 months prior to last January, and then just started releasing in January, and like already now I have about 1 million streams across all platforms.
yeah, honestly,
In orbit.
I'm not just plugging it. The reason I'm here is you have a good energy behind you. You have a
Yeah.
positive attitude, and you're not after the ego aspect. I hope you make it. I hope you blast it.
I think that we will. Well, I believe.
How
that
about
we
this?
will.
I know that I will.
Yeah, no, we will.
There you go.
That's every day I wake up. I saw like there's certain shit that I take into mind. Like I've watched like DJ Khaled and all these people, and DJ Khaled was like, you don't wake up and look in the mirror and tell yourself you're number 2 today.
yeah.
He's like, you're number 1.
There's
He's like,
best.
what you want, you can
We
get.
the best.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with being the best, and there's nothing wrong because everybody has the potential to be the best of whatever. And it's the only time I think it's wrong is if it's, again, I'm the best, so I'm going to squash some other people.
Right.
If you're the best because you're going to be the best for your right intentions, go after it. Be the best.
Yeah.
The reason for wanting to be the best for me would be able to literally bring everybody up around me.
yeah, you guys
know,
are two good guys, man.
That's like the whole thing. Like if I'm gonna be successful, I want anybody I associate with, and even strangers, to be successful.
yeah, everybody.
Yeah, because we
Strength and unity, guys.
Yeah.
we
100%.
see like what it's like to like start out as an artist, and even though like we get all these streams, we still like don't have that respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people see it and they're like you almost get like negative attitude back for it.
Yeah.
Even though like I'm out here, I try to help everyone. Like I'll teach people shit. I don't ever charge to like
Good.
teach people how to make music
good.
or anything like that.
Good. You know what though? That's
Yeah.
good. Anytime you turn a light on, darkness tries to pull it down. So that's the darkness trying to pull the light down. Just keep shining your light. It sounds like you're right on the right track, and I can't wait till you get famous. Then let's do it.
Yeah, because a lot of people, like, they still tell us to this day, they're like, you're not ready yet, like, all this shit. But it's like, whoever is ready for that. You know what I mean?
You know, the people that are the most successful, the people that take the risk, most people are trained to go work for somebody else or follow somebody. You know what? You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Henry Ford, a great quote. You say you can, you're right. You say you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
Again, all goes back to the mind. And if you believe whatever you believe 110-fold and you keep the frequency going, you'll make it happen, man.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it might take 10 years, but I'll still be here.
Who cares? You know, you go after it, and no holds bar. It might happen on accident tomorrow.
It could. I really think that we're going to make a big leap here very soon, though. Like, I can just, like, feel it.
I can, too.
Yeah.
I
think it's gonna happen by the end of this
saying
year.
since last year that this year.
Yeah, this dude did believe in me before I.
Hey, the Cronus bullshit might actually play out in your favor because everybody's stagnant. You're making music. The Corona fucking ends and opens up, and you're the only ones with shit ready to go.
Yeah, they're hungry for new talent. That's what I've been seeing a lot.
Let's go. Everything happens for a reason. Let's go.
I know. That's why I've been taking Corona as like it does suck because like some people are dying. Like I'm not gonna say like
sure.
You know
some
what
people
I mean?
are dying. Let me tell you. I just want to say this with that. Go look at the world clock of deaths. Like 1 million people a day die from starvation, people. So let's talk about some real death numbers.
Right.
Let's not talk about a few old people that we're going to be dying. And I know it sounds disrespectful. We're all going to die. But there's lots of people dying from things that are 10, 20-fold.
That are also preventable.
Like fucking China's doing like a modern day genocide of Muslims.
Again, the starvation clock will wake you up. I looked at it, and they kept putting numbers on the media. Again, who controls the media? You got to look a little deeper. You know, who controls the media? Okay, why aren't they talking about the 1 million kids a day dying? Why am I talking about 450 people that die from Corona? 1 million people dying of starvation.
Yeah.
But then you got a company like Target that'll donate like $100,000 there, and it's like this company literally probably makes billions a day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
the
what's $100,000?
Roman Catholic Church. We're talking about religion has a wealth of over 30 billion.
Yeah.
Like for what though? You know what?
Assets too, gold chariots that they pillaged and stole.
Yeah.
Why is there still starving people?
Yeah.
Let's wake up. Let's all wake the fuck up and start looking a little deeper and look past what was taught to you, passed down from generations.
Yeah.
Start thinking as individuals, individual power, and realize that we are all divine sparks, that if we connect, we can create a world of harmony again.
Like, that's like what I think too. Like, why just because this guy is like in a chair in an office can he decide what hundreds of thousands of people do in like a town or a city? You know what I mean? Like even like governors like Gretchen Whitmer can just shut this whole state down.
Yeah.
And I also don't get why like the police back that up.
Well,
Not all of them do.
A lot of them do though.
A lot of them do.
It's a pecking order, right?
Yeah.
So like the governors, the president, they don't hold as much power as they've led you to believe.
No,
Yeah.
Or there's an
they're
agenda
puppets.
passed down, and everybody is playing their role. If you're a DJ, your job's to be the DJ at the time. Well, the governor's job's to be the governor at the time, and the police are doing what they're told to do.
Yeah.
Nobody's thinking for themselves. They're just doing what they're supposed to do. And that's what happened like in the 70s and stuff, man. I wasn't around then, but that's what happened with all those riots and stuff. You know, the police went out there and started kicking these hippies' ass. The hippies were just sitting there smoking weed saying, we don't want to go to war. But then the police came in and beat the fuck out of them. Because the police's mindset was, this is what we got to do. This is what I'm told's right and wrong. But nobody's, you know, there's going to come a day, and I mark my words, it could be in this lifetime, there's going to come a day where the military is going to drop their guns going, we're not fighting for your bullshit no more. We get it now.
Yeah.
That's going to be
I think that's
crazy
happening
day.
soon.
It's coming, bro.
That
I
started
think that
to
is
happen with all the BLM riots and everything. They were deployed, and at that point they were like, we don't want to be here.
No.
Like, you're putting us in a situation that you guys caused.
Yeah.
That's a whole